Are you among those who have a large number of friends, or, on the contrary, among those who have nothing? Or do you have few but good ones, as they say? Friendship is a serious thing, and today this term is used too easily. It is enough to have acquaintances to define them as friends. You realized. In this video, thanks to a Zen story that talks about personal growth, we will see what it means to not have friends and whether it is this we should worry or not. So stay until the end, because the moral of this story will make you understand many things, making you understand how to really read the term friendship. But before continuing, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share the video. Thanks to these small gestures, you will help us produce new content every day for your spiritual growth. A girl named Elena, a kind and pure-hearted person, often felt sad and lonely. He looked around and saw the other inhabitants of this town with their groups of friends, laughing and sharing happy moments together. This vision caused her a feeling of emptiness and lack, since she had no people with whom to share her life. One day, while traveling through Japan, he decided to seek solace and advice from the monk Kobo, a wise hermit who lived in a small monastery on the outskirts of a town. The monk was known for his wisdom and compassion, but above all for his solitary life. That's why Elena understood that monk would be the right person to ask for an opinion about her loneliness. "Monk Kobo," Elena said quietly, "I feel lonely, and it seems that the lack of friends is a problem. Everyone around me seems happy with their friends, and I wonder why I can't have the same joy." The monk Kobo looked at her with compassionate eyes and invited her to sit down. "Elena, friendship is truly a precious gift, but your happiness shouldn't come from how many friends you have. I would like to share with you the reasons why not having many friends, or having any at all, is not something to worry about, but can even be an advantage." The young woman, still immersed in her melancholic mood, asked Kobo to better explain the concept of having few or even no friends. And Kobo, with his wisdom born from decades of studies and reflections, began to reveal the secrets of an authentic friendship. "Dear Elena, the first thing I want to tell you is that relationships and human bonds are something very important. This means that in life, we should not measure them in terms of quantity, but rather quality. Would you rather have a large number of people with whom you can share trivial things, or, on the contrary, a very small number of people with whom to share very intense emotions and moods?" The girl, faced with these rhetorical questions, began to reflect and understand. Many of the people she saw around her were full of friends, but what was the quality of those relationships? She asked herself intimately. Kobo, happy to read in the young woman's eyes that she was beginning to see things differently, continued listing the reasons why having few friends, or none at all, should not be seen as a problem. "Having few friends," he said, "guarantees a certain degree of freedom and authenticity. In this way, it is easier to be yourself and live without restrictions or external influences. Imagine that you love a particular activity, which may seem strange or uninteresting to others. If you have few or no friends, you have the freedom to pursue that passion without being judged. Remember, if you want to live a fulfilling life, you don't have to conform to what others think is cool or normal. After all, who decides what normality really is?" Elena thought about one of the things she loved most, observing the starry sky on clear nights. This interest of hers was not understood by her classmates, who made fun of her and saw her as strange. Kobo went on to explain that quantity is never synonymous with quality. "Having fewer friends," he continued, "allows you to focus on building deeper, more meaningful relationships. Imagine having just one friend with whom you share the joys and sorrows of life. This connection could be so deep that the person understands all your emotional nuances. This is a priceless treasure. Elena reflected on this idea, remembering an episode in which a girl she knew supported her in a difficult moment, understanding her without needing many words. And he began to understand that in life, instead of wanting to have dozens of friends around you who are not really friends, it is much better to focus on finding that person who reads and sees life like you. The monk, after giving Elena time to reflect, continued with his explanations and spoke of another reason why he preferred quality over quantity in human relationships. Human relationships, he explained, require a lot of emotional energy. Having few friends allows you to focus this energy on the people who really matter. Kobo, to enhance the idea, used a practical example. Think about how many conflicts or tensions usually occur in large groups of friends. Maintaining small relationships allows you to preserve your positive energy for those who truly support you. If you have to argue with someone, for example, to resolve a conflict, it is much better that it is a person who really matters in your life, or not. Elena found that group dynamics were often stressful, while more intimate interactions brought her joy and comfort. Kobo went on to highlight how loneliness can be an opportunity to explore oneself and grow personally. In the tranquility of your solitude, you can discover hidden passions, latent interests, or unexplored talents. You are not limited by the expectations of others, and this allows you to grow in surprising ways. So, dear Elena, my invitation is to see loneliness in another way as you have done until now. Having few but good friends allows us to more easily find moments to be alone with ourselves, and this significantly helps our spiritual and personal growth. Elena thought about how much time she could dedicate to her personal interests when she wasn't trying at all costs to be with groups of people, and how dedicating herself to herself in solitude distanced her from that search for other people's approval that did her no good. In those moments, he discovered aspects of himself that he didn't even know, and it was beautiful. Finally, Kobo emphasized that the absence of social limitations allows for greater flexibility in each of our lives. Imagine receiving a job opportunity in a faraway place. With no strings attached, you are free to embrace new adventures without having to think about how they will affect your social circle. Elena put herself in the place of those who, with less close ties, had the possibility of taking advantage of opportunities without restrictions. He met people who, thanks to this extreme autonomy, had flown far away to realize their dreams and expectations. Also, Kobo concluded, when you have few friends, but these are genuine, you can move to the other side of the world, but you will never lose them. They will remain by your side, beyond space and time. After listening attentively, the young woman understood that she had developed a new awareness about the concept of friendship. Not having many friends does not mean being alone, but being able to concentrate on one's own interiority and the search for some connections that really matter to her. Master Kobo hugged her gently and added, always remember that your happiness should not depend on the number of friends you have, but on the quality of the connections you cultivate with the few you have. I have known people who say they have no friends, only to discover that in their life there was only one person, just one, who counted as 100 friends. And remember something else. People who have few friends are the most authentic and profound people I have ever met. They are people who do not settle for mediocrity. Usually, those who tend not to get along with everyone and want to have few people around them have an extraordinary inner world and truly rare human qualities. In conclusion, what is the moral of this story? That loneliness, seen from a new perspective, can be a valuable ally in the search for happiness, spiritual growth, and personal fulfillment, and therefore should not be feared. And that to live happily, it is not necessary to have a multitude of friends. You just need to have the right ones. That is, the ones that add real value to your life. Because if you tend to be a loner, it is because you have a higher than average sensitivity.